Hi, BookTube. It's time for Tag Thursday. So instead of doing Tag Tuesday like most people, I'm going to do tags on Thursdays. And I'm going to do the spring cleaning tag. And of course, I was hoping to be prepared for this one, but I forgot to pull it up on the screen. Okay, that's better. Oh, let me stretch it a little bit so I can see the... Okay, so this is the spring cleaning tag, and of course I will post the link to the person who created this tag if I can find it. If not, maybe I'll post a video of someone else doing this tag. Okay, now some of these answers, unfortunately, I don't have the book, or even if I do have it, I have to go looking for it at the moment, and I don't know where it is. Okay, so unfortunately, I only have 3 books to show you for some of these questions. Okay, so you guys know how this works. You get a series of questions, prompts, whatever, and all the answers are book related. So like I said, this is the spring cleaning book tag. Okay, question number 1. The struggle of getting started. A book series that you have struggled to begin because of the size. And I refer to a series, actually it's a trilogy, and that is Ken Follett's The Century Trilogy. Fall of Giants is the first book. As you can see, I technically have started it, but it's been so long since I picked it up that I might restart it anyway. And the good news is I didn't get very far in it, so it's okay. It won't mess me up too much. Like how it is with I'm currently rereading Way of Kings, and I got a bit over 600 pages the last time, and I had decided at my own risk to restart it over. But the good news is some of the chapters are short, or even the ones that are a little bit longer are quick to get through. As long as I don't have too many distractions. But anyway, Fall of Giants, all I know is this is a family saga. This first book starts during World War I, I believe, and then the second book is World War II, and then I don't know when the third book takes place. I do not remember. And that's really all I remember. That's why I probably should start rereading this again. And it does not help that this book is a big trade paperback. So it's a little bit harder to hold. I mean, it's not as hard to hold as a hardback book, but it's a thick boy, and traveling with it is not as easy. And I could probably still squeeze it in my lunch bag to bring it to work. But even then, it's not like I get a lot of reading done at work. But anyway, yeah. So this is my book that is a struggle to start. Book series that's a struggle to start. Okay, next prompt number 2, question number 2 is cleaning out the closet, a book and or series you want to unhaul. Now this particular series I didn't have a problem. It's not a bad series. It's a good series. It's interesting. I just lost interest in it for some reason. Like, I think I waited too long. That's why I don't want to make a mistake with my other series, although I'm already starting to do that. So I need to pick up some of the books of some of the series I'm in them that I've started earlier this year. I need to pick up at least the second book. But the series I'm talking about today is the 7 Realms series. And like I said, it's not bad. I didn't hate it. It was good. It's just, I eventually lost interest in it. This is a series by Cinda Williams-Chima. It takes place in this, the 7 Realms, where there's the prophecy of this person becoming the chosen evil person, and then you have the princess who must fight him, and you have these two kids who might be the chosen ones, Princess Reza and Cuffs Alistair, who is a thief, and they end up being brought together. And that's a really bad summary. I mean, I'm sure Reagan from Peruse Project will probably do a better job because it's one of their favorite series. But again, it's not bad, and I did enjoy it at the time when I was reading the first two books, but I just ended up losing interest, and it took me way too long to get to the third book, which I didn't even pick up, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna put the donation pile to be unhauled. Okay, the next two question, I don't know if I have. Oh, question number 3, I do have an answer for it, but I don't have the book, and I don't know if it's in the donation pile or if it's somewhere on my shelf. I'm just not seeing it, because for some reason there are times when I don't see the books when I'm looking for them, and then all of a sudden I will see them. But the question is opening windows and letting fresh air in. A book that was refreshing. And I said Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend. And I said that was refreshing because it was just fun and very lighthearted. And at the time, in the first two books, it does not focus on the relationship drama or at least they're not the romantic relationship drama that the Kibra's Lost City series. Because our main character is, sought after by a lot of the boys for her group of friends. Okay, well, technically not a lot of the boys, but her 3 male best friends all are into her. Although one of them, in another book, they finally actually talked. And she finally told him that she doesn't like him in that way. So it was annoying that took forever. And I was thinking, I was always confused in that series with how old the characters were. Because they acted like they were like 12, but they were supposed to be getting older to teenage years. So I was very confused. So I have a lot of issues with that series. But Nevermore was fun. I like our main characters, like, our core groups, like Jupiter North, and, I think her name, I cannot remember her name. Oh, but she's the title character, Morgan Crow. I really liked her character. It was fun. I liked the magic in it, and even the magic that the characters are technically afraid of. And actually, let me go ahead and tell you what it's about if you have not heard of it, or you're just not into middle grade, but you want to get into it. This is a series about, there's going to be 9 books, I believe, and it's a series about this little girl, Morgan Crow, who's considered a cursed child in her small, gloomy town. And that she will die on her 11th birthday. I am so confused on the whole age thing, because some people say, like, I'm remembering it's her 11th birthday and that she's 10 years old in the beginning of the book, but she turns 11. But then other people say she's like 12. She's gonna be 12. Like, I don't know if I'm the one who's getting confused by her age or other people are. It's very frustrating because I'm thinking, no, she becomes this age, and then everyone says a different age, like 12 or 13. I'm like, no. And then I'm like, wait, am I remembering wrong? So it's very confusing, and they have this thing in their little town where all these children will get a patron who would teach them a trade. And they're assuming because Morgan is one of the cursed children that she's not going to get it. But then she gets a whole bunch of letters on the day, including one from the mysterious Jupiter North. And he shows up on just before she turns however old. I'm just going to say 11. Right before she turns 11. And he whisked her away to Nevermore, where she doesn't die, as the prophecy supposedly said. And she ends up learning, and she can become part of the wondrous society of Nevermore if she passed a series of trials. And so I just thought it was so fun and silly. It was, I definitely get the Wonderland comparison, the Alice in Wonderland comparison with the world of Nevermore. It was just kind of relaxing to read it. I'm sure it's going to get tense. It has gotten tenser as the story progresses, but it's fun. I really enjoy the series so far. Like I said, I do not know if I already put the books in my donation pile or not. I'll have to look for them. So I don't have that book with me right now, but yeah, Nevermore. Okay, so question number 4, Throwing Out and Washing Out Sheet Stains, a book you wish you could rewrite on a certain scene. And I picked one that, not a rewrite per se, but I would take out the scene completely. And that is a scene in It by Stephen King. So, which, if you don't know, although I'm sure most people know what this book is about, especially by now, since the new version, the new movie came out in 2017, the first part, and then the second part I think came out in 2018 or 19. But in case you don't, it's about a group of friends who when they were preteens in the 80s, now that's, well, actually in the 50s, technically. In the book it's the 50s, in the movie, the most recent movie version, it was the 80s. And they discover their town of Derry, Maine is haunted by this evil entity from outer space, apparently. And it uses fear to scare you half to death, and then it will eat you. And these kids end up being the only ones who could defeat this monster. But when they after they think they've defeated him the first time as preteens, it turns out it was just hibernating, and comes back and wreaks vengeance on the town once again. And these kids, as young men and women, have to come back, but most of them do not remember. So they must return to their town of Derry and defeat the monster once again. But of course, they are adults now, so it's a little hard. It will be a little more complicated and harder for them. There is a scene in the middle of the book that everybody hates, and they will never put on TV. They will never put on the screen. That is very inappropriate, and but I mean, in Stephen King's defense, he was high on coke, I think, when he wrote this. But, yeah, and it can ruin the book for for people, not for me personally, because I think it's just one part. And this book is over 1,000 pages, as you could see. But yeah, it's a scene that really, King, you had to go there with that. And it's and not a rewrite scene, well, I guess it could be a rewrite. I mean, my first thought is take it out completely, but then it's part of the ritual the kids have to do. So maybe instead of doing that thing, they could do maybe in the most recent movie. And I don't know if they really did a ritual in the 1990 TV movie. I don't know if they actually did a ritual per se, which is I think they left it out, which kind of, so I mean, as much I have all the respect and love for the original miniseries, but there were things I think the newest movie did better. And I'm definitely one of those people who's a lot of times, sometimes the newer version is a little bit more appealing. But, yeah, because I think they did the ritual in the new movie. Yeah, I mean, they even talk about it. So how they did it there would probably be better than what Stephen King wrote in the book. Because it's a disturbing scene that he put in there. Not disturbing in a gory way, not disturbing in the monster, but in a very, again, why did you have to go there with that? Why'd you have to put that in there? And it ruins the book for a lot of people, I think. So, and if you read the book, then you probably know exactly or if you at least heard about it, then you probably know the scene I'm talking about. Okay, so that was question number 4. Question number 5 was throwing out unnecessary knickknacks. A book in a series that you didn't feel was necessary. And I do not have an answer for this one because I don't know. Because, I mean, I'm a firm believer that most books, most series, every book, the author will probably feel is necessary. I mean, maybe there is one that I think was unnecessary. I can't think of one. So I don't have an answer for this one, but if you do this tag, I hope you come up with an answer because I don't have one. And actually, I don't have an answer for number 6 either. Which is Polishing Doorknobs, a book that had a clean finish. Now, I probably could find one if I really think about it for this one, but this is, I'm trying to get this tag done this morning, at least film this morning before we leave, so I'm kind of in a little bit of a rush. But, so I don't have an answer for Polishing the Doorknobs, a book that had a clean finish. I don't have one for that one either. So question number 7. Reaching to Dust the Fan, a book that you try too hard to relay a certain message. And this one I don't have because I chose to donate it. And that is, and please don't hate me for this. I hope people do not get mad at me, especially if you grew up with this trilogy. But His Dark Materials. It was very Christian. And there were aspects I enjoyed the first book, I remember. I liked the first book. But second, going into the third book, I was just like, oh, it's just okay. So really, it's more like, and then it's when the third book that I think that really got me a little weirded out by. It was like, I mean, I get your message and everything, but why'd you have to include that? So it's more like, I mean, this is really the best answer I could come up with. It was more like you included that part to include for your message. It was just a little weird that he went there with that, and especially considering, considering the age of the kids. It's not as bad as the scene in It, but it's still, I was kind of surprised by it, and I was like, how old are these kids? Because it's about these two kids are the main characters, and it's like, how old are? I mean, I thought they were kind of young. I mean, I don't even remember. I mean, maybe they were like at least 16, but I thought they were younger than that. So it was a little weird by it. So really, it's a poor answer to this question, and a lot of people probably disagree with me on this answer anyway, so I just couldn't think of a good answer, and I already left 2 questions with blanks, and I didn't want to leave another blank one, so I just picked a book series that there's a clear message, it's a very Christian message, no, it's not Christian at all, I forgot, actually a lot of people believed it was very anti-Christian. So yeah, actually it was anti-Christian. So yeah. So that was the best answer I could come up with. I hope people don't hate me for that. Don't come for me. It is a weak answer anyway. Not because I don't think, because, I mean, obviously I picked it as my answer, so I obviously agree to an extent. Okay, so anyway, enough with that. The last question number 8. Tiring yet satisfying finish of spring cleaning. Tired yet satisfying finish of spring cleaning. A book series that was tiring yet satisfying to get through. And again, this is another weak answer. I probably could have come up with better answers for this. But this is the best I could come up with was Beautiful Creature series. I can't think of another answer right now at the top of my head, so maybe there probably would be a better answer, but I said the Beautiful Creature series. I can't remember the author's name. I think it's 2 authors. It's probably a mother and daughter team. Or friends team. I do not remember. I think it's Margaret Stoll and someone else. I cannot remember, but anyway, this is a series about, again, this is such a poor answer. Series about a girl that, she is, this young boy meets this girl in his town who has a reputation for her family are witches, but he ends up being drawn to her and falls for her. And I think, there's a prophecy involved with him, the 2 of them were lovers in a past life or something, but then he died, and that started the whole curse on her family, or something like that. Oh, I think she tried to bring him, her past self, her ancestor tried to bring her lover back from the dead, but there was a price, of course, and the family became she and her lover, and she and the guy become cursed. Um, but anyway, so it was a good series at the time. I was entertained by it, and I probably was one of the few people who liked the movie. I thought the movie's really cool, but I barely remember the first book, so I don't know what they did wrong. Just like in some other, just like with the Golden Compass, I didn't know what they did wrong. Or like Aragon, I don't know what they did wrong in there either. Or trying to think of another one. There's another. Percy Jackson. I don't know what they did wrong with that series. Now that one actually continued, made the second movie. Oh, and the Avatar movie, not the James Cameron, but with the Airbenders and stuff. The Avatar anime movie thing. That I don't know what they did wrong there, but apparently they did wrong. But anyway, so I remember it being interesting. I like that. Well, this almost could apply to the question about question number 3 too. Because I remember there were aspects of it that were kind of nice. Like it was from the first 3 books from the perspective of of a male instead of a YA female, a young adult female character. Because there are so many female authors. And it was also in South Carolina, which I thought that was really cool. Like I said, I didn't have a problem with the book series. I was just like, about it. I had fun with it when I read it, but it's not like my favorite. And it was kind of a relief because it was one of the first series I actually finished. Because the last few years I haven't been finishing series. I've been in the middle of a lot of series. So yeah, it was like, that's why I was so tired, because it was the first one I actually finished. So it's again another poor answer. Poor answers for these last 2 questions. But it was the best I could come up with at the time. I probably could come up with better answers. Maybe if I do this tag next year, I'll probably do better at it. But anyway, so that is the spring cleaning tag. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, click subscribe, click the bell icon below if you want to know when I post new videos, and I hope you are continuing to wear your mask, washing your hands, sanitizing, staying 6 feet apart from people, because of course unfortunately this pandemic is not over with yet. And I will, like I said, I'll post the link to either the creator of a tag or one of the versions of the tag that I watched. And I will talk to you all later. All right, bye!